When the Prime Minister took office, he told us that deficit financing would boost growth. But in 3 of the 4 years that followed, per capita GDP growth has been zero. In fact, and that was before COVID. And in fact, the last 5 years of per capita GDP growth have been the worst since the Great Depression. The government went ahead and asked for $700 billion more of borrowing authorizations, and since then the IMF has downgraded growth projections for Canada by 1/3, below the US, the Eurozone, the average of the advanced economies. When will they realize that you can't put economic growth on the national credit card?
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank the Honourable Member for the question because it gives me the opportunity to congratulate Canadian businesses on their resilience. Our GDP increased 0.3% in December, nearly twice as much as the consensus forecast. And our fourth quarter GDP increased 1.9%. That's an annualized rate of 7.8% and nearly twice as much as the Bank of Canada's forecast. COVID is tough for our economy and our businesses, but they are doing a terrific job.
The Honourable Member for Carleton.
Well, in addition to dragging down growth, government borrowing risks driving up inflation. According to CIBC's economist Avery Shenfield, additional government spending being offset by the earlier need to hike interest rates to contain inflation. And, quote, Mr. Speaker, higher interest rates would be a disaster for the households, businesses, and governments whose combined debts are almost 4 times the size of our entire economy. Higher interest rates could collapse our economy. Why is this government risking our economic future on credit card debts instead of securing it with paychecks?